Thank you for joining. My name is Natasha Chopra. I'm the Chief Operating Officer for Microsoft Copilot Studio. Glad to have you all here joining us in person and also online. And I really hope you're feeling some of the energy from this morning, and the sessions today have really seen you being able to convert that energy into action and generate more excitement for you as you end the day. So over the last few months, I've been on this sort of global journey with my team and meeting customers and partners across different industries and across different geos. And the one theme that I've consistently heard is we know AI is the future, and the future is here, and we need your help to really take this leap for our business. Where do I get started? So we designed this session very specifically to answer that question and understand how the power of combining CRM modernization with AI can transform business. So let's kick things off with a fun video. All right, who can't relate to that common pain point where many organizations feel stuck with their legacy CRM and are frustrated by the manual process? I do want to give a huge shout out to Jamie Meshner, who's in the room with us, and the creative genius mastermind behind that awesome video you saw. So while my day job is building the growth engine for Copilot Studio, I've also spent the last few years leading a team that was driving transformation of how organizations approach CRM migrations. We didn't just modernize systems. We built repeatable, high-impact migration motions that helped our customers move to Dynamics faster, cleaner, and with an AI-first foundation from day one. And we will share our foundations with you today. And in this session, we'll discuss what it means to be a frontier firm, and introduce you with tools and help you transform your customer experience with agents. You'll also hear from my team of experts. You'll hear from customers and partners about how we are transforming and streamlining migration and accelerating agent adoption. And by the end, we hope you have a clear understanding of how to move forward, modernize your CRM, and unlock value fast. The way we work is changing at an unprecedented pace. Gartner predicts that by 2028, 60% of B2B sellers, they will have their work happen through conversational UIs that are powered by GenAI sales technologies. I mean, just last year, that was less than 5% of seller work that was being done by GenAI. So think about that. Just the transformation and the shift of less than 5% seller workflows, we're using GenAI. In a few short years, we're moving from taking that experimentation to mainstream adoption and refining how sales teams engage, decide, and win. And it's not just a trend. I think this massive shift that we're seeing about how selling gets done. And we're ready, seeing this transformation in action, and we're helping our customers who very much are ready to lead the way with us. And these customers are bringing in AI into their sales processes to streamline their workflows, drive personalized engagements, and accelerate deal cycles. So the future And the scenarios of the futures are happening now, and they're redefining what modern selling looks like. And the next generation organizations that put AI at the center of their operations are defined as frontier firms. They look fundamentally different than traditional enterprises because these are the kinds of companies that are structured around on-demand intelligence. They are powered by both human and AI hybrid teams, and they're really designed to scale rapidly, operate with agility, and unlock value faster. These companies don't just adopt AI, they are reimagining workflows and decision-making in an AI-first way. And they're leveraging digital labor. You heard that today in Judson's keynote, this digital labor in the form of agents to extend your workforce capacity and really transform business process. These frontier firms are really thriving on this agent-human ecosystem where agents are handling automation and execution while people are leading with the vision and the strategy. So if you're feeling that the pace of innovation is happening faster than ever and wondering how to stay competitive by leading in agentic AI adoption, we get it. Every organization is on its own journey. Some are just getting started, while others are scaling fast. But wherever you are in your journey, our role at Microsoft is simple. We're here to meet you where you are and help you move forward with a lot of confidence. And here's how we see this journey. First, it starts with AI as a personal assistant. I bet everyone in this room has had that experience. Think of it as Copilot as a teammate who helps you answer questions, summarize insights, and prep for a customer call. Then comes human-agent interaction and collaboration. This is where the real impact begins, where people and agents start working together towards shared goals. And finally, the vision that we're marching towards, advanced stage, where agent-operated, human-directed models operate. This is where agents are running autonomously across workflows, while humans guide and supervise. No matter where you are today in your journey, our mission is clear: help you take the next step to becoming the agentic frontier. And the first step, it starts with purpose. AI just isn't a product, it's a way to unlock human potential. And you or your customers are here to make that real. So how do we help you get started to becoming frontier first? Let's break that down. First, it's all about enriching the employee experience. AI is making work better. It's making our teammates more creative. There's more meaningful and more human work being done. While people thrive, so does a business. The second is really reinventing customer engagement, using AI to connect with your customers at scale, anticipating their needs, personalizing every interaction, and building loyalty that lasts. Next is reshaping and reimagining your business processes. Old workflows tend to slow you down, but with agents and copilots embedded in daily operations, businesses can move faster, cut friction, and focus on the bottom line and grow. Lastly, my favorite, bend the curve on innovation. AI helps you bring ideas to market faster so you can stay ahead of the competition and lead in your industry. And that is really what becoming a frontier firm looks like. And it starts today. However, as you look at the transformation for AI, to make it all real, you need the right technology as its foundation. And we at Microsoft are here to enable you to access a complete portfolio of agentic solutions. Our tool set for the frontier firm starts with Copilot and Copilot Chat. These are the baselines for human AI interactions. Next, we have Copilot Studio and pre-built agents that help automate critical processes and really lay the groundwork of digital labor. And finally, we have systems like CRM that are truly AI ready. With integrated Copilot, integrated agents, they're designed for human and digital labor to be working together. And this is our end-to-end tool set for a successful frontier firm. Now, Microsoft does deliver a complete platform to help you move confidently into the frontier. And that platform comes to life through our agent ecosystem. This ecosystem is where technology meets customer imagination. You'll find a wide array of pre-built agents for Dynamics 365 and Microsoft 365, plus agents that connect with other business solutions. The agentic spectrum that we have really spans from simple queries to complex multi-agent workflows that are fueling efficiency and growth. And at the center is the Microsoft Marketplace, where customers can launch proven agentic scenarios supported by over 90 partners that are driving adoption from day one, many of you in the room with us. Because agents don't thrive alone. They thrive in agentic ecosystems. And once you've explored this agentic ecosystem, the next step is building your own. That's where Copilot Studio comes in. Copilot Studio makes it easy to create, customize, and deploy agents, where you start from scratch using natural language or choose a template with the agent builder. You can connect to data from Power Platform, Microsoft 365, Dynamics 365, websites, or even third-party business applications. And you can deploy these agents right inside the apps and the websites that you operate in today. And the best part, it's accessible for everyone. Pre-built templates, you can really have your agents running fast and then spend your time fine-tuning the logic and functionality. This streamlined approach can accelerate development and helps organizations adapt quickly to changing business needs, boost efficiency, and grow impact. And as you unlock the value of AI and agents across your organization, the foundation matters. A strong CRM is essential to orchestrate these capabilities and deliver connected experiences. Dynamics 365 gives you that foundation and so much more. It accelerates AI transformation across sales, across service and marketing with a full suite of agent-infused applications. And this just isn't CRM as we know it. It's CRM that's reinvented for an agentic era, that's helping you personalize your interactions and drive agility across the business. And what we're hearing from customers, what we've heard from all of you, is that legacy systems are holding them back. Legacy CRMs push employees away from customers instead of bringing them closer. Tedious processes lead to slower adoption, and we've seen this where sales teams find workarounds to avoid using CRMs altogether. They're also driving lower customer and satisfaction that is lower within their own teams. Why? Because when data is siloed, teams get siloed. That means disjointed experiences for customers and for employees, and no way to deliver personalization at scale. And finally, IT budgets. They're just getting drained to keeping the lights on. Maintenance, integrations, and customizations instead of driving innovation. That's really slowing the speed to market and opening the doors for competitors to move in faster. So, legacy CRMs are not designed to be frontier firms. They're hard to use, they keep data locked in silos, and deliver limited value. So let's talk about what it means to move from a system of record to a system of action. Legacy CRM systems are static, like we discussed. With Dynamics 365, we're changing that. This platform is built for action and for agents. It brings AI, Copilot agents directly into your daily work, so your teams spend less time on manual tasks and more time driving results. And all your data is unified and secure in the Microsoft Cloud. That means teams can collaborate seamlessly and access real-time insights and make better decisions without having to chase information across disconnected systems and silos. This means they can deliver better customer experience. And with continuous AI investment and transparent cost, you get a platform that is ready to scale with you. And that's the shift from passive record keeping to an intelligent system of action that empowers your teams and your people to drive positive business outcomes. So when you're ready to start your journey with Agentic CRM, Microsoft is here to help you. We offer purpose-built CRM migration tools to ensure there's clean, secure transition so your data stays protected and your business keeps moving. We also help streamline and optimize your business processes during the migration. We call this Move and Improve, with personalized support from Microsoft experts who can guide your teams from planning all the way to execution. And we'll work with you to accelerate readiness and adoption with tailored training, change management, and enablement resources that are designed to make sure you realize value fast. Over the last few years, we have done this with hundreds of customers. And to show you how we invest in streamlining migration for our customers, I'd like to invite Marty Priest, who runs our specialist team, to share more about the tools that we provide for our customers and partners to move away from legacy systems to an agentic CRM. Over to you, Marty.
Thank you, Natasha. It's an honor to be here and represent our specialist team who spends all of their days, all of their time working with our partners and with our customers, helping them move from legacy applications to Microsoft's business applications for AI first, AI native. So let me ground us in why. Why do we invest so much money, time, effort, et cetera, into getting to these applications? So what we wanted to do, what we heard from our customers very clearly, a lot of technical debt in legacy applications, really high cost to run, lots of customizations, lots of integrations, and it's about time we move and modernize our CRM or ERP or any other application and move to Microsoft. What we heard very clearly was the risk to move was just too steep. So we needed to reduce that risk, increase the time to value. So we kept those things in mind, and you can see here some of the foundational items for us. Accelerate velocity and de-risk implementation. So the toolkit we built is free to our customers and free to our partners. Anyone can use them when they move to Microsoft. We wanted to reduce cost and timeline. We know you've been through this process before. Most people have been through one or two CRMs and one or two applications, and they really want to get fast time to value. We need to deliver quick agentic value for our customers. So what we're able to do using this toolkit is do both at the same time. We can give you agents and AI up front while migrating your legacy application. So if you think about it from a seller's perspective or any of your end users, we can get them value right away. We can solve some of their current pains that they're having with their applications while we change the plumbing in the background, which is the legacy application you're on. We want to standardize process and timelines. We want predictable timelines. We want to reduce that risk of migrating, and we want to strengthen alignment on project outcomes. So in the next couple of slides, you're going to see how we do that. First, let's start with discovery. So we all know what a normal discovery process, but let's see it in action. This is an AI-first approach to discovery. And I promise it will play.
Let's say I'm a Microsoft partner helping to facilitate the migration from legacy CRM to Dynamics 365 for my customer, Woodgrove Bank. To kick things off, I'll need to start work on the discovery project. First, I want to check how we're progressing with requirements gathering. I see we're at 24% complete. Since I already have my legacy CRM assessment generated by the data migration tool, I'll upload that report and let the migration assessment copilot process it for me. In just moments, the agent identifies 129 requirements and updates them directly in our discovery tool. Think about the time saved. Instead of manually reviewing every requirement and cross-referencing the assessment report, which could take hours or even days, the agent can do it in minutes. That means I can focus on reviewing results and planning the overall project, not repetitive tasks. Now, our progress jumps to 61%. And all those answers are ready in the discovery tool to calculate project estimates.
So when we think about this, it's an AI-first approach. One thing we just released as well is conversational AI. So in your discovery process, you could just be talking like normal humans do, be recording it. It'll pull all that information up into the discovery tool and analyze it against requirements that are in the system and do this sort of analysis. The last thing you see here is it's telling us how much a project should cost. And we know this because we've done hundreds of these. We work with our partners very closely, so we can get very predictable timelines and cost estimates based on your requirements. Now, in an old process, you may have taken that information and there'd be some sort of handoff process, and now you're ready to implement. You're ready to let the real work begin. The real trouble that normally happens, right, is there's not a great handoff and you have to repeat everything. That's no longer the case. We've recorded everything, we have everything in the tools, so now let's go to the implementation side.
Woodgrove Bank has approved the project, and now the real work begins. The data migration agent will help us migrate the legacy CRM data schema, existing customizations like forms, views, and custom code, along with the actual data. Let's see this in action. The agent first creates a migration record in the data migration tool. This record helps us monitor and configure the migration process. Next, the agent reads the legacy CRM objects, and I can choose which objects to migrate. For Woodgrove Bank, we'll start with accounts and contacts. Field mapping is usually one of the most time-consuming tasks, but not anymore. The data migration agent automatically creates mappings and defines data types for the new columns. Once the mapping is ready, I can review and make changes if needed. I'm happy with the agent's recommended schema, so let's kick off the process. The agent now brings over not just the data schema, but also forms and views customizations, saving me time. Next, it builds all the Azure resources, creates the pipelines, and sets up parameters for the migration. What used to take quite a bit of time can now be handled automatically. Once the pipelines are ready, I start migrating the account data, first to a staging database in Azure SQL for optional data cleaning, and then to Dynamics 365. Migrating existing schemas, customizations, and data used to be a time-intensive process. With the data migration agent, this process can now be accelerated, helping to reduce complexity and enables faster time to value.
So again, this is not a lift and shift. This is move and improve. At any point in this, you could set, then the system will tell you, hey, we've covered those customizations. You don't need to bring those over. So there's intelligence built in to say, we have that. You don't need to have that. Or we can question your current business process and say, hey, we do it this way. Do you want to do it this way, or do we need to bring that over, right? So there's really an intelligent process in the middle there to help us out as well. So when you think about this toolkit, again, free to use when you migrate to Microsoft, we really have those three keys at the bottom. Help reduce the cost of the implementation, help reduce the time to implement, and the cost of the overall deployment. Overall, getting you to value as quickly as possible as you migrate from legacy to Microsoft's AI-first, AI-native applications. And we're really proud of the results that we've achieved over the last few years leveraging these tools. So, it's time, right? We talked about it, you heard it this morning. Frankly, you saw a lot of logos in that keynote of customers we've helped move off of legacy applications to Microsoft. They were scrolling as Judson was talking. It was pretty cool to see. But you can take that journey with us and leave behind the manual, time-intensive deployments and get to value extremely fast. Legal won't let me tell you how long, so I'll leave that to side conversations, but it's been pretty impressive. We've really helped customers reduce the cost, the timeline, and really help them get on our platform super fast. And with that, I'm really excited to bring Natasha back on stage to start a fireside chat with one of our Frontier Firm customers, BNY, who's migrated from legacy CRM to Dynamics 365 Sales and Service. First, before we do that, let's take a quick look at what they've accomplished.
Welcome. Thank you for joining us, Christian. And just to introduce Christian, he is the Managing Director and Hub Lead for Client Services Hub at BNY. Thanks for joining us. I think it was great seeing the video of the transformation that you're going through as a team, and excited for this chat. So let me fire off with, tell me what was the primary driver, a set of drivers behind BNY considering the migration to Dynamics 365?
Definitely. So for those who may not know BNY, really we're a financial services institution, and we help really a lot of global institutions actually run as their financial engine. And BNY is actually one of the largest and oldest bank in the United States. So it's over 241 years old and founded by Alexander Hamilton. So as you can imagine, there's so much that the bank has had to go through to change and adapt over time. And really the adoption of AI and capabilities that Microsoft brings to the table is part of that story. So in us actually moving over to Dynamics, a lot of decisions were made, and part of it is looking at the broader suite of capabilities, but ultimately we were looking to kind of improve the client experience, increase our visibility into our sales pipeline and growth, and then overall just improve the employee experience as well.
Amazing. So I know, because we've discussed this before, that you had a multiple persona strategy. So can you talk a little bit about the rationale behind that, your journey with Microsoft, and your journey overall in the migration process?
Definitely. So I think everyone can have this experience that when you work with a company and you go to a website, you kind of expect the full suite of those solutions to be at your fingertips. But a lot of times organizations are a little bit bifurcated. You're kind of getting small pieces of the picture depending on what business line you're working with. So one of the things that's really critical for us as a team overseeing the capabilities that our sales and service employees work on is, how do you actually create that one picture of the customer? How do you bring the context to the individuals who are having those discussions with our clients day in and day out? So an interesting partnership that actually happened with the Microsoft team is we looked at the CRM and we said, where could we do better to show that kind of one view of the client? And by engaging the product team, we actually have been on a journey to develop a capability that will make it easier for us to show the context of the relationship, but also overlay AI on top so that we're actually querying the relationship the way that our people and our clients would see us. So it's a huge and exciting feature that is coming to the baseline platform, and it's actually being delivered very soon in the next few weeks, which is ahead of schedule, but it's been a great partnership.
That's exciting. Not just the innovation that led to advances within BNY, but also how the collaboration led to product innovation on our side at Microsoft. I think that's a true partnership, and super excited to hear that. So let's talk next about when the platform was in place. One of the biggest opportunities is really having the foundation to drive adoption for AI. So what was the role that the teams played, and what was the role that agents were playing in driving that adoption for you once the foundation was established?
Of course. So across kind of our two personas, I'll start with service, but there's a few features that are really foundational to helping our folks respond to our clients faster. So today within Dynamics, there's a knowledge search capability where you can store kind of previously responded to content and kind of best practices and procedures. And many times in other systems, it can be a bit challenging to find the right things to surface and also to formulate the right response to clients. But directly embedded within the case experience, we're actually surfacing that data through AI-enabled search, and it's increasing the speed at which we're able to get back to our clients. Now, on the flip side, from a sales perspective, it's also helping us to actually look at other types of ways to connect not only our Copilot capabilities, but also our BNY Eliza capabilities. So when we think about slicing and dicing our data, we're now able to look at things in a way that can truly enable our sales folks to grow with our clients.
It's amazing. Now, adoption. How were you able to bring the sales and services team along and drive the adoption and also build this confidence for them?
Yeah. So I think what's been really exciting about the transformation of BNY, and we talk a lot about this on our earnings calls, is that we are on kind of an operating or platforms operating model journey. And in doing so, I run the benefit of the organization going through so much change that I can kind of jump in and support them through that change with tools that make their lives a little bit better and easier to work through. So with that kind of operating model change and this shift towards really truly bringing one BNY to our clients, we're able to really leverage all the suites of tools that we have across the Dynamics platform to minimize the time that is actually being spent navigating systems and maximize kind of the time actually being spent with the relationships and with our clients.
Well, with adoption comes the story we hear a lot of people talk about, which is, what are the metrics of success? Did you meet the KPIs that you first started your project with, and how did you track them? What did success look like that was very measurable for you?
Of course. From a service perspective, it's been probably the most profound, where we're really looking at things like shield rate, time to resolution, first response times, and AI has really been one of the bigger enablers to support those metrics. From a sales perspective, we're really looking at things like our goals across our module, which is helping us be far more commercial and see opportunities across the stack of our data to actually create some of that growth opportunity. So by really integrating all of our data across the stack, what we're seeing is that our teams have much better visibility, and we're able to forecast as an organization at a better rate.
Amazing. So now that you've gone through this transformation and the journey and driven the adoption, and you're so close to meeting the KPIs and tracking the next round of innovation, I would say, what's next for BNY?
Yes, so in general, I think we're going to continue to scale these agents, and we've already started to build out what we're calling digital employees, which have access to systems and tools and are about really giving our people capacity, so that multi-agent kind of framework that was being discussed a little bit earlier. And what we like to do is continue to expand that integration between Eliza and Copilot to support that broader orchestration and automation for our folks. And there are really tools that exist outside here that Microsoft is innovating on, such as the sales research agent, which is helping us go in and cut the data in different ways that we wouldn't necessarily have found trends. But there's a lot of opportunity here, and we're only scratching the surface, and especially when it comes to visualizing the content in a way that our users actually know how to do next best actions. So it's a really exciting time.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us.
Thank you so much.
So BNY is a tremendous example of how to be a frontier firm in the migration for Dynamics 365. Customers like BNY are driving transformation with a strong foundation, with in-house expertise, as Christian shared, and also trusted partnerships. And partners like Avanade play a critical role in accelerating that shift from legacy CRM to an agentic CRM. These migrations are strategic moves for all the customers. They really unlock agility, intelligence across businesses, and they're able to really unlock the true value of AI and CRMs. So to show how Avanade is making this real with customers, I'm super excited to welcome my friend Abhi Sridhar to the stage, who's the global GTM lead at Avanade.
It's great to see you.
Good seeing you. All right, Abhi, thank you for joining us.
Great to be here.
Let's get started with a question that most customers come to you and asking, which is when they come to you asking about modernization of their CRMs, what outcomes are they really trying to achieve when they say, we want to modernize our CRM, and how do you help them get that value up front?
Yeah, great question. So I'd start by saying our clients don't come to us asking for a new CRM, right? They're typically coming to us with a very clear problem statement of, we're struggling to unlock value with this very specific business outcome. And that could be, how do they accelerate revenue by really supercharging their sellers to create better outcomes for their end customers? It could be, how do they unwind years of deep customization that's preventing them from doing more with AI? It could also be reducing the total cost to serve. They're spending a significant amount of money and they're not seeing the value from legacy platforms. So step one for us, what you see on the screen, is really grounding in what does success look like. And we believe there are 4 key patterns of success measures, right? First is, how do you optimize the cost of running the next generation of CRM platforms? So this is everything around your total cost to serve, but it's also looking at your investments today to see where are there deep customizations. We've had so many examples of clients that we support that have, instance sprawl. They have 25 instances of their CRM because they could. Not the right answer for their business. Significant customizations that have gotten out of control. Second key part of this is also how do they really drive revenue and revenue growth, right? Which is, as sellers, you're thinking about the right seller experience that makes it easier for you to transact and drive value with the end customer. Third key lever is everything about productivity. So you think about Copilot, think about agents. How do you really supercharge the employee to, number one, create a better experience for them, therefore creating a better outcome for the end customer? And then finally, de-risking is a key part of the equation, which is not just how do we make this lower risk as we think about the technical migration and moving onto the agentic platform, but it's also how do we make sure that our people are brought along in the journey, really empowering them to take most advantage of the platform. So the shift really is how do you move away from let's just migrate our CRM to how do you unlock value with an agentic first platform?
So well said. So traditional migrations are these complex narratives and involve a lot of risk, and you talk about de-risking that for our customers, and they've traditionally been very high risk and complex. What's different today?
I'd say what's different today is we're no longer talking about one-off complex projects. We're now looking at scaled, predictable transformation programs running at pace, right? So from an Avanade and our partner standpoint, we've co-invested with Microsoft, and some of the things that we've done to make this easier for the clients that we partner with is, first and foremost, is we built out an industrialized CRM migration program. So that started with actually ring fencing a team of people that have deep knowledge of what does migrations look like. We know what the legacy platforms look like. More importantly, we know what the destination looks like moving to Dynamics. So we know what the integration patterns are. We know what the data migration challenges are. We know what the pitfalls are when you're going to run into. So we've solved for them with a very programmatic approach. And that's backed by a team of deep experts that live and breathe both, not just migrations, but also how do you unlock value once you're on the new platform. Finally, underpinning all of this is AI. Working very closely with Natasha, Marty, and the broader team around not just using the tooling that Microsoft is bringing to clients and partners, but we're also investing in our own. So we've built IP that surrounds what Microsoft brings to the table. Everything around assessing legacy platforms to building business cases using agentic capabilities. Because underpinning all of this is, again, going back to what are you ultimately trying to solve and bring that value to life.
Amazing. So I'll ask the question of you said customers are not really looking to migrate, they're looking to realize value.
Yeah.
So how are you making sure that customers realize the value that they ask for, and how are we delivering to it?
Yeah, go live is a race to the starting line, right? So that's really a starting point. How do you make sure that you're really deriving value from your investments? We believe that comes down to 3 key things. First and foremost, and this is even before the age of AI, is we've always led and really worked with our clients to bring forward an experience-led approach. This is even more important today with the world of humans collaborating with AI, right? So the easy path is just look at your experience today and then find ways to insert AI. That's not a great experience. So we're bringing an approach where we go back to the drawing board to say, what does a grounds-up approach look like where humans are collaborating jointly with AI? Really looking at the business process as well as the end user experience as well as the customer experience. Second is we've talked about value. Really grounding in what are the key metrics that matter and making sure that the investments that you're making around capabilities, technology that you bring to life align back to those KPIs. And then the last one, you heard Christian talk about the importance of really making sure that the people are part of this journey. So this is everything from effective change management, from a solid communication plan, to identifying champions early on in the process, and really empowering them with business readiness to make sure that they are able to get value from the capabilities that we're bringing to life.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Avi, for joining us and for sharing your insights.
Thank you.
All right. So You've heard today about the rapid AI shift that continues to define business processes and business transformation. Legacy CRM systems were built to store data and often create silos and slow team downs and limit the value that they can deliver. An agentic CRM powered by Copilot, agents, and a unified data platform changes that. It connects you to people, processes, and data on a single platform, automates routine tasks and works, and put real-time insights at your fingertips. And this is how organizations move from a system of record to a system of action. This is how your organizations become frontier firms that are ready to adapt, innovate, and lead in an era of AI. So you may be wondering, what are the next steps to take? The organizations that we've worked with are large and small. And you've heard from some of our customers and partners, and you've heard from the team. But I wanted to call out a few specific leading brands that are very like front and center. You've heard from BNY today with Christian. We have Lexmark, Heineken, Ryoc Japan, and Lenovo that have already made the switch. They're leveraging this unified data, integrated AI, and agentic CRM capabilities to drive better customer experiences and drive growth. And this really shifts the position that allows them to adapt faster, innovate more effectively, and stay competitive in a very rapidly changing market. So we look forward to having you join this list of community of frontier firms that's shaping the future with agentic business applications. And with Dynamics 365, you empower sales, marketing, and service teams to focus on what matters the most, building deep customer relationships. So if you've been on the fence and are considering the move, now is a great time. You can visit aka.ms/make-the-switch to start the journey. And if you're using Microsoft 365 Copilot, you can experience the frontier of AI today. The Frontier program for Microsoft 365 gives you early access to breakthrough AI features. You'll test new capabilities, share feedback with product teams like mine, and also help shape what comes next. And this is what's available today. We have the App Builder, which creates lightweight apps with natural language. Build dashboards, you can build forms in just minutes, all grounded in M365 data. Then we have Workflows, where you can automate multi-step processes without code. You can streamline repetitive tasks and orchestrate actions across applications. And finally, Researcher with computer use. Move from insights to actions. Researcher now can analyze data and execute tasks end to end. The frontier isn't just a future, it's here, and it's your chance to become a part of the journey with us. Thank you for joining us today. Really appreciate everyone being here. Look forward to your feedback. Thanks a lot and enjoy the rest of Ignite.